Prologue. As the subway train pulled into Grand Central Station, I glanced at my watch. 9:30. I felt a slight twinge in my gut and stepped out onto the platform. People were streaming past me, a steady flow of bodies. Everyone looked like they knew what they were doing. I shifted my pack on my shoulders and pushed my way through the crowd. Life suddenly seemed overwhelmingly complicated. Okay, first things first, I thought. I need to get my bike. I'd shipped her via Greyhound Package Express, and that office was, allegedly, somewhere in Port Authority. I approached a woman selling newspapers who gave me vague, convoluted directions. Go through this door, turn left, turn right, go outside, and around to the back of the building. I thanked her, even though I only absorbed about half of what she said. As I was walking out the door, I looked at my watch again, 9:46. I shifted my pack again, and took a deep breath, and set off in search of Package Express. Eventually, I stumbled upon it. For some odd reason, the office was down an obscure alley, removed from the hustle and bustle of the station. My pack was killing me by then. Good Lord, what had I packed, anyway? I gave the guy at the counter my claim ticket and leaned with my back against the wall, trying to relieve the weight on my shoulders while he disappeared into a back room. I wanted to remove the pack, but it was such a struggle to get it back on. When he returned, I couldn't believe my eyes. The box was huge. My jaw felt like it dropped to my knees. "This your box, right?" Yeah, that's it. I didn't remember it being so big. Funny how your mind has a way of shrinking or expanding objects or events. Yeah, real funny. Well, great. Now I had a backpack filled with sandbags and this gargantuan box. I looked at my watch again. 10:07. Time sure was flying. I had 3 hours to get me, my pack, and now this box to John F. Kennedy Airport in time to check in for my flight. They had told me at the travel agency I needed to be there 2 hours early, since I was going overseas. I wiped my sweaty palms on my jeans and sighed. The box was far too big to carry, so I dragged it out of the office and into the street. I didn't know where I was or which way to go. I knew I had to get to a subway station, but I didn't have any idea how. I began dragging the box down the sidewalk, thinking, this is New York. There must be a subway station close by. After about half a block, I started to worry. I didn't know how long the cardboard would hold up under such extreme circumstances. What was I going to do? Okay, I thought, I'll have to take a cab. I turned around and dragged my box back to the Package Express and poked my head in the door. The man who had helped me was kicked back, reading a newspaper. Excuse me, sir, where can I get a cab? He slowly lowered the paper and looked up. Round the corner at the front of the building there were taxis. No problem. He eyed me a moment longer, then shook out his paper and held it up to his face. Okay, around the corner. I could do that. An inch at a time, I made my way to the front. I saw a whole line of taxis waiting for fares. I started to look at my watch again. I hate this, I thought, stopping myself. I hate all these time constraints. As I approached at my snail's pace, a man hustled up to me. Need a cab? Yeah, I need one pretty bad. I pushed the hair out of my eyes and felt a trickle of sweat down my back. Won't be easy with that box, but I'll get you one. His black eyes flashed and he gave me a grin, exposing not a few gaps where teeth should have been. I didn't know what was going on. Was this guy just being nice? I stood, watching him argue with first one cab driver, then another. No one wanted to take me. Too much luggage, they all agreed. But my new friend was a hustler. I do this for a living, he said as he helped me load what little of my box that would fit into the trunk of the taxi. A light bulb went off in my head. Of course, he was working. With a sense of dread, I reached into my pocket. How much should I give him? I agonized, feeling the weight of my poverty. I pulled out $2 and handed them over. It's all I can give, I told him, avoiding eye contact. He shoved the money into his pocket and was already walking away by the time I managed to call out, "Thank you." As I climbed into the back of the cab, I heaved a sigh of relief. "The entrance to the closest subway station," I said to the driver. He eyed me through the rearview mirror. "Look, I'm doing you a favor giving you this ride, so don't be changing your mind in the middle and telling me to take you somewhere else." "Oh no, I really want to get to the subway. I'm absolutely sure of that." "Where else would I go?" He started the car. All day I got people telling me, take me here. And then when we get there, it's no, I don't want to go here anymore. Take me there. I stared at the back of his head. This whole conversation was confusing. Didn't he charge by the distance? I was pretty sure it worked that way, having seen my share of TV. So I reasoned, wouldn't he earn more money driving people all over town? I promise I won't change my mind. I saw his shoulders relax, and as he pulled into traffic, he glanced at me again, as if seeing me for the first time. What's in the box, anyway? It's a bicycle. Kind of big for a bike. I know, and heavy too, I added. Well, I wouldn't ride a bike in New York City. Too many crazy drivers. I just smiled at his reflection. He concentrated on driving, and before I knew it, we were at a subway stop. Sure this is where you want to go now? His voice sounded friendly and accommodating, as if suddenly it would be okay if I changed my mind. This is it, thanks. I crawled out of the car, dragging my pack, feeling a bit silly that we'd only gone a few blocks. I noted the amount on the meter and handed him a few bills, remembering the tip, but unsure how much was expected. Keep the change, I said, mentally calculating. I had given him an 85-cent tip. I hoped that was okay. I started to pull my box out of the trunk. The driver got out and helped me unload it onto the sidewalk. You gonna carry that bike down those stairs all by yourself? I looked around. Guess so. I don't really have much choice. Well, good luck. He got back in the cab and I watched as he drove away. I looked at my box, then at the stairs to the subway. I pulled the box behind me, making my way down the stairs, one step at a time. Most of my effort was spent trying to keep the box from sliding uncontrolled to the bottom. This was much harder than I had anticipated. Finally, I made it to the bottom, sweat dripping. I leaned my box against the token booth, stuffed a dollar bill through the crack in the window, and asked the clerk for directions to the train to the plane, a subway train which promised to take its passengers to John F. Kennedy Airport. As the woman slid my token under the bulletproof glass, she leaned over the counter, peering at my box. You need to take that through the side entrance. It ain't going to fit through the turnstile. She pointed at a gate. I'll buzz you in. Just go one stop downtown and you can catch the train to JFK there. Okay, thanks. I stuffed my change into my pocket. Put the token in the turnstile and turn it, she called to me, then buzzed the door open. I did as I was told and pulled my box through the gate to the platform. The train arrived, and I heaved my heavy load inside. When I got off at the next stop, I discovered that I would have to climb some pretty serious stairs to get to the platform I needed. It just wasn't getting any easier, and I thought going down was hard. After an effort on my part, born of pure desperation, my box and I made it to the right platform. I examined the box. It was starting to tatter. I struggled out of my pack, and, dropping it to the floor, I leaned against a pillar to wait. There was a small crowd of people waiting, and all eyes turned to look at me. A few minutes later the train pulled in. As I labored to pull my gear on board, I was surprised to find a tall, well-dressed man lifting the end of the box. Wow, thanks, I said. He just smiled. Finally I was on the train. I dropped my pack to the floor and sat down. I noticed people were still looking at me. A woman sitting across from me asked, Hey, where you going, girl? I'm going to Europe. I felt the blood rush to my face. So what you got in that box? My bicycle? Suddenly, the whole car was in the conversation. It was as if people were just waiting for an opening to talk to me. Why was I going? Why was I bringing my bicycle? Why didn't I buy one over there? Where was I going to stay? These people were full of questions, and the thing was, I didn't really know how to answer them. What did I think I was doing? I didn't know. I had gotten this idea in my head to travel Europe by bicycle. I had no idea what precipitated such a plan. And it wasn't as if I'd ever done any kind of bike travel in my entire life, nor did I know anyone who had. Girl, you crazy, the woman across the aisle informed me. I couldn't do anything but shrug my shoulders and smile. She was so right.